Richard, what happened with ports in 2011 and what does that tell us for 2012?
Well, the headline issue, as ever, is China with ports. I think by whatever metric you want to use, China still dominates the ports industry. It overtook Singapore in 2010, and it dominates the top 20 in terms of throughput, in terms of TEU, in terms of bulk capacity, and will continue to do so for the rest of 2012. I think in terms of overall trade patterns, we've seen probably not as big an impact as we would have expected over the economic instability over the last few months, but that's probably going to knock into 2012. You're going to see the majority of the rich world introducing austerity measures. That's going to have an impact in throughput. But I don't think the port companies are necessarily going to bother too much about that. These are the guys that play the long-term game in shipping. I think it's interesting to see that over the last year or so, as we've seen real problems within the shipping industry, the shipping lines have pulled out of the container terminals and are looking to more immediate patterns. The ports, meanwhile, are looking to the long-term plays. They want long-term finance, they want stability, and they want reliability.
It was the case that the liner companies wanted to be exposed at ports. They wanted to somehow hedge their bets, I guess. What's changed in their mind?
Well, I think initially you were looking at diversification, but you were also looking at security of supply. When there were concerns about the long-term availability of capacity, you were looking at shipping lines wanting to stake their claim on ports and terminals. That's less of an issue now, and they're looking to get out. Certainly we've seen MSC and CMA CGM looking to exit some of their port terminal assets.
When Cargo Systems did their top 100, Piraeus actually had quite a throughput, which one wouldn't expect out of Greece. But it turns out that one of the reasons for that was that the Chinese had invested in a new pier there.
Yeah.
So the Chinese reach, if you will, is not just within their own borders, it's global now.
No, it's massively global. I think the Greek port capacity had been underinvested in for years, and it took the Chinese to come along and make Piraeus a going concern in many respects.
And what about the DP Worlds? How are they doing?
Well, they're doing well. I mean, in terms of the global throughput patterns, I mean, as I say, they're playing the long-term game and they're looking at trade. And if you're looking at the long-term patterns, while we've seen a slight contraction, you've not seen a massive drop-off in terms of world trade. Now, while the shipping lines are suffering, that's very much a shipping problem in terms of capacity. That doesn't necessarily affect the ports. The ports are looking for the custom, and the trade is the custom.
Well, we're going to have a high old time in 2012, so
I thought so.
Enjoy yourself on Lloyd's List.
Cheers.